Latseng.
Վերադարձ դեպի դու իմ երգիր հայրենի չեմ թողնի մոտենա քեզ ոչ մի թշնամի ոչ աշխարհ դարձավ մեր պահանջի ճանաչ ասելը վերջացավ պիտի գնանք եթե որքի ուղար հողում մեծանա պատմությունը իմանա հասցրում եթե որքի
Oh, yes, I do.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
It's Wednesday night again. We're here live, and our guest today is Karine Aboolian and then Eleanora Hayrapetyan from Focus on Children Now. So we want to welcome you.
Thank you.
Thank you both for taking the time to be with us tonight. And I know that your organization has done a lot for Armenian children, and we are excited to hear all about your organization. If you can just tell us when you started, how you started, what is, how many maybe people on the board, and as much information as you can for our members so that we are more familiar with your organization so that we can work with you.
Very good. Very good. So you want 15 years of experience and everything we've done in 5 to 10 minutes, huh? Okay. Yes. So first of all, I want to thank both of you for providing us the opportunity to present Focus on Children Now. I also want to take this opportunity, we also want to take this opportunity to congratulate Buy Armenian. You guys just passed to 25,000 members. That's awesome. Bravo. Bravo. And I'm not talking just for myself, but I think for every member of Buy Armenian. I have to say Buy Armenian has become the site to go to for everything Armenian. So congratulations and thank you.
Thank you. And it's not something that we're doing alone, that we have a lot of help, and we also want to thank all our members for making Buy Armenian the site to go to. Thank you.
Yes. I'm going to let Eleanora talk about how we started and our projects up until the war, the dreaded war. And then after that, I'll take over and talk about our activities, you know, during and after the war.
Thank you.
Myself also want to thank you to give us this opportunity to be part of your group and present the Focus on Children Now. So I just want to tell you a little bit about our programs and how Focus on Children came about. It started in 2006. It started from somebody's garage, believe it or not. It started with humanitarian aid that we started collecting clothing, shoes, toys, school supplies, and shipping it to Armenia, especially to all the bordering villages, the areas that they really needed a lot of help in getting clothing and getting all the need that they had. So our motto is breaking poverty cycle one child at a time. And one of our main mission is to helping disadvantaged children, accessing the necessary of life by helping them, bringing health, education, nutrition, and giving them hope to become a better individual for our country. So this said, I want to tell you a little bit about our board members. We have 9 volunteer board members. 2 of our founders are still part of our group. And we are very devoted, and we are strongly standing by our belief and what we believe, which is a child, and to make sure that the children have a better life in Armenia, because they are our next generation. So all of our board members, we support and stand by Focus on Children Now. And we have only 1 full-time employee in Armenia, Anahit Kalantarian, who represents Focus on Children Now all over Armenia. And she has a part-time assistant, and she's also, she and sometimes he, they help with all the different needs that to provide help to distribute or collect or go pick up things in Armenia. All the funds to support to pay for our employee, which is 1.5 employee, is sponsored by our board members. So I can say we are 100% volunteer group, and every dollar that it gets donated to our group, it directly goes to the project. So we try to have no expenses taken out of the donations that we get. Up to now, we sponsored all our projects by sponsors individually. They come with us and they visit the sites or with the openings. They help us with the nutrition, and they help us as much as we can. So these past 14, or actually I can say 15 years coming up next year, we have very, very loyal supporters. They trust us completely, and that's why is the success behind Focus on Children Now. We have 4 programs that I want to tell a little bit about each one, and then we can go on for the projects that we are doing right now. Our humanitarian, I already said about it, and up to date we touched about over 1 million lives in Armenia by our clothing, by our items that we sent, and by the containers that we packed, and with the help of students in the schools. They help us to do that. So we try to also encourage volunteerism in young students. So our humanitarian aid has been one of our main points to get into the houses in Armenia, in the villages, so they know about it. Then our education program is, when we started, is about sponsoring beds, bedding, and furniture. Now, our board members, we visit Armenia every year. This year, we couldn't go because of the COVID-19, but we go there, we visit the sites that the project has, we sponsor the project, and also we check the areas that we get requests. So we do check to see where the requests are, if it's a good project, or what we can do to help it out. So up to the days that we were going in the beginning, which is about, I think it's about 2013, we came across in areas, the villages, that we saw there is no kindergarten. A lot of kids, the little kids, they couldn't go to kindergarten. The reason was in one of the main reasons, one of the main choices is to the kindergarten. They have to have budget for their nutrition. They also have to have beds. In order for a child to go to kindergarten, there has to be a bed for each child. So there were in villages, there were areas that they didn't have that budget. They didn't have the beds. So we started sponsoring the beds, bedding, the furniture. So we gave them the chance to go to school. So up to date, I can tell you that we have about, we sponsored about 73 kindergartens, and up to date, we have 4,229 child attending school because we sponsored the beds. This year alone, even with the COVID-19 situation, we added 1,271 kindergartens. We give them the opportunity to go, and by that, we added 166 employees to the group this year. Even though the schools are not open right now, but they are ready to accept all the children to go the minute the school is open. Because of the COVID, they're closed right now. So as you see, every project we do, we consider to see what is added to employment, what are we giving to children, how can we help them to improve their lives. In the bed and bedding that we are providing, also we provide playgrounds. There are a lot of village areas in the village that there's no park, there is nowhere the kids can play safely. And some areas, the kids, they haven't been on a slide. So when we saw this, we also added the playground project to our education, which will add a safe and healthy environment to children participate, to exercise. And also we saw personally what the effect it does on children that they use the playground by trying to help each other. They try to exercise, they start communicating better, and they are better in socializing together. One of the other main projects that it's very, very close to our heart is nutrition. We came across some of the schools that we were visiting. We saw that what they are serving in their menu is lacking dairy. Dairy products is one of the things that it's expensive some areas. And so the GUAPET asked us if we can sponsor dairy with their nutrition. So by us sponsoring dairy products, the kids can get butter on their pasta, they can get cheese, they can get cottage cheese, a glass of milk, and that way their calcium, which was lacking in their diet, was completed by our sponsoring the nutrition. And by that, we started a project called Angel Project, which is we have sponsors that they sponsor every month a group of students for the nutrition. So up to date, we have a lot of angels that there are our angels literally for our nutrition program. And I can tell you that up to date, we have about 2,500 beneficiaries in our nutrition program. And every year we add more. So but that said, whenever we are trying to get involved with any project in Armenia, we do our research. We make sure that we are working very hard to get the right contacts. We try to provide employment in the area. We try to buy locally. So that way we are creating jobs. We are trying to give the business to the villages that those kindergartens are there. And I can say that we are one of the biggest biggest customers, I can say, for beds and bedding in Armenia, and also for playgrounds. So we created a lot of jobs by sponsoring and by connecting with their people and try to improve their lives by giving them the business. And at the same time, our children there are benefiting from that. This year alone, even with the COVID-19 situation, we were able to complete 92 projects. These 92 projects were beds, bedding, furniture, playground, and we added 30 gardeners to our nutrition program. So we are very proud to say we act very fast. Our group is a group that whenever there is an emergency, we try to act as fast as we can because every day counts. One other projects we did before I turned the table to Karine was when the COVID-19 hit Armenia. I can say we were the first group that we acted right away. We sponsored 850 individuals by handing out nutrition, bags of necessary hygiene items, because they were all in the houses and they couldn't come out. This group were children, elderly, women who were pregnant, and also single parents. So we acted right away and we sent all this help to these families to stay inside, so to be away from the COVID-19 and try to help them as much as we can. On this, I like to, if there's no questions, I like to turn the table to Karine. So she can
one
answer you.
question that Shasha
Yes.
is asking. She says, how many volunteers are in Armenia? How many volunteers do you have in Armenia?
Right now, we are working with few groups of volunteers. Exactly how many they are, we don't know. Every day it changes. But we have, do you have a count, Karine, how many people? But
we can't say whether we have an exact count. It depends on what we're doing. Lately, I should say we probably have at least about 7 or 8 people that are volunteering with us. With the Christmas coming along and us, the project we have for Christmas, distributing or gifting warm clothing and backpacks to, I would say, about maybe about 2,000 kids. We will be needing volunteers, but needless to say, there are groups that come and help us anytime we need help.
That's awesome. I need to read this. Hasmik Zakarian, she says, hello, dear Karine and Eleonora. Great to see you here. We can't thank you both, dear Anahit Kalantarian and your volunteers here and in Armenia for doing a phenomenal job in Armenia and Artsakh for our children and families in need. Highly recommend your great organization for people to choose one of their charities of choices to donate, and especially be sponsors for playgrounds at the joy of seeing the kids to have the sides and swings of their own schools for first time is priceless. So I had to read this before.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's very encouraging. Thank you, Hasmik Jan.
Thank you, Hasmik Jan.
Now we'll hear from you, Karine.
So I guess we will pay Hasmik the $100 we told her. That message.
Just before the mention of the joy for the children, when you go there, what we create is priceless. The smile, the brightness in their eyes, or the minute they are waiting to go to the slide, or one of their favorites is the merry-go-round. It's the slow one. Sometimes we get on it too and we get dizzy, but they have fun. So it is something that it's priceless. It is. And that's what encourage us.
Satisfies your souls. You feel,
that's what it is.
Feel that peace, happiness. It's like nothing, you can't buy that with money, you know? It's
that's
like
very true. That is very true.
Yeah.
That's what it gives us the energy to continue.
So I'm going to start, I'm going to tell you about what we did when the dreaded war started. On September 27th, FCN's team, Anahid and a couple of our volunteers went to Goris and to evaluate and see what's happening, what kind of requirement there is for us to help them out. So what we did at that time was to partner with the mayor of Goris. As you may know, most of the people, Goris has the largest number of displaced families, for the obvious reason of being right next to Artsakh. So we partnered with Mayor of Goris by providing them with any kind of humanitarian aid that they needed. Sometimes they would ask for example, for clothing. We would go there with clothing or shoes or toys. Or one time they asked us for meat or personal hygiene items or dairy. So we were thinking this was going to be a temporary thing. After 3 weeks, we realized, wait a minute, this is not temporary, and we need to come up with a more proactive program in order to address the issue. We can't just act reactively to what is needed in one city. So that's when we decided to partner with Tavush's Marsbet and the Marsbet Aran. And the partnership is in a way that most of the municipalities do receive dry food, for example, pasta or buckwheat or things like that, and that's what they were distributing to the displaced families. So we took the responsibility of supplementing that by giving them perishable items such as meat, chicken, dairy, vegetables, eggs. Of course, tea and those kind of stuff was also little by little got added to it. Coffee, yes, Armenian coffee. You can't do without that. So we started with Tavush specifically on November 2nd with over 1,300 people at the Dilijan community. So 2 weeks later, we added another 500 to 600 people, thanks to One Armenia for sponsoring them, which were all the displaced people that were in Ijevan, Noyemberian, and Ayrum communities of Tavush. Up until last week, we had almost 2,000 people that were part of our nutrition program for the Artsakhis. But starting last week, and I would say maybe about 2 weeks ago, but most of it last week, we're seeing a decrease in the number of people because a lot of Artsakhis are moving back to Artsakh. So today, compared to last week, we have 500 people less than the week before. But what we've done is we acted very fast, and starting today, we've added a new community to our nutrition program, which is at Gerarkunik Mars. The communities, the villages are Mezmastrik, Ayrum, Agung, I'm sorry, Agung, Vartanis, and Dretuk. Those 4 villages together, they have about 200. They have 235 people live in that area, and we're told most of the people that moved to Gerarkunik, in specifically those villages, came from areas that they can no longer go back. Mm-hmm. And so we're thinking that most probably they will be staying there. So what's next for FCN after we did now that we're going to continue with our nutrition program at least for another 6 months. If we see a decrease at Tavush or somewhere else, we will try to add other regions to our program. But I think one thing that the war taught us was that Armenians can unite. And when we unite, nothing can stop us truly. Yeah. So what is next is we're trying to work with several other Armenian charitable organizations to come up with a sustainable, to come up with a more with a program where a comprehensive program where the Artsakhists that want to go back to Artsakh, perfect. You know, that's definitely encouraged. But there are a lot of Artsakhists that cannot go back. They don't have a home anymore to go back, and they don't want to go back. If there's a family that wants to stay in Armenia, then we, with other organizations, we want to create an environment so they can stay in Armenia and at least not move to Russia or Europe or United States. So that's in play, that's work in progress. And I think next week we will do an announcement as to what organizations and who is doing what and all of that. So you heard a little bit about the program from Paros. So we're going to be one of the partners, and Teach for Armenia is going to be another one of the partners. So it's in works. We'll know more next week.
That's so awesome to hear that.
Yeah.
There's power. So when we
Yes.
unite, we can change, we can move mountains.
Yes, yes, for sure. And I think we learned that during the war, that we can definitely unite.
And we need to sustain that. We need,
Yes.
that's very important.
Exactly.
A lot of
Yeah.
times what happens when people are excited, they do things and then, kind of dies
Yeah.
out. But I hope
Yeah.
that doesn't happen, and we continue to even be
Yeah.
working more together for the
Yeah.
betterment of Armenia
Very
and
good.
Artsakh.
Yeah.
So
Yes, just one thing I just want to mention, in the past 14 years, we've been working with other organizations. Partnership is one of the ideas that we encourage because by working with other organizations, you can complete what is needed. So that is one of the main ideas that we always valued, and we try to work with Paros, we work with HOPE, we work with FAR, we work with the Armenian School Foundation. So all of these organizations, we come together. I think we can, as it says, we can move mountains.
and not duplicate the work, not duplicate, like you don't.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's
Exactly.
another thing we want to make sure that we don't. We definitely have had our shares of coming across projects that it was going to be a duplication. So yeah, for sure.
I wanted to ask, I'm sure it's on other people's minds also, have any of the schools, the kindergartens that you've supported, are they now in enemy territory, so to
Yeah.
speak?
Annette was asking that. I was just gonna ask that question. Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately, there are
Yes.
few.
Sushi.
Oh my
in
God.
Sushi?
Yes,
And,
yes.
uh,
I mean, since the war stopped, I honestly cannot get sushi out of my mind. I just cannot.
Yeah, it seemed like that was part of.
Yes, we had sushi, and then we had a very small community called Sonasar at Artsakh, which is no longer Armenia, unfortunately, and Goghtanik as well. But I have to tell you something. We we rescued one of our playgrounds. We implemented we installed a playground at Goghtanik village, which is in the Berzor area of Artsakh, in close to Berzor, Kashatagh, I have to say, Kashatagh region of Artsakh. We installed the playground a few months ago. I mean, right, probably May, April, May, something like that. We installed the playground, and after the war, and after, we found out that Goghtanik was not going to be part of the part of Armenia. We were thinking, what are we going to do? Because we have playground at Goghtanik, we had a playground and a kindergarten at Sonasar, for example, and a preschool at Shushi that we provided the furniture to. So we were thinking, what are we going to do? Can we go save them? And we heard from, and it was exactly at that time, it's as if the mayor of Goghtanik heard us. He called and said, if you guys want to come and get this playground out of here, I'll help you guys. And plus, if you cannot come, I'm going to get the plaque out of here. I don't want them Azeris to see an Armenian name
Yeah.
in this village. So we did put the paperwork together for us to be able to go. We got that. We were able to save that one playground, and I believe it's headed towards Nerkin Karmirach Pure.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
another small area. This little village that this playground was sponsored, they had 34 kids, the whole thing. I mean, and they didn't have anywhere to go to play. There was a soccer field, there was a volleyball net. So it brought such a joy to them when they know that there was going to be a playground. The whole village was cleaning and getting it ready. So when the Gyurapet let Anahit know, and said that we're moving out of here, just take it to somewhere in Armenia that another Armenian kids can enjoy it. And that happened. And it's going to be going somewhere that it's another small area that the kids can enjoy it. So we are happy, but unfortunately, other areas we couldn't save.
Yeah.
Were damaged.
That's
or
big
they were
that
in
we
the
were able to save it.
Yeah,
We couldn't.
I mean, but we were able to say one, and we're happy with that. We just concentrate on the positive.
Yes.
Otherwise, we can't do our job, honestly.
You know, it's
Yeah.
funny you say that. I have a friend who is from Gyumri, and he was serving in the army. He's a dentist.
Mhm.
So I constantly, I'm in contact with him. How's it going? Are you safe? How are things going? And after the news that they were gonna give up sushi, he got some friends together from Armenia, from Yerevan, from Gyumri, and they took trucks to
Yeah.
Sushi, and they took all the khachkars as much as they can, and they took it back to Armenia.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. Going back to positivity, I want to mention one thing, like we don't have time for negativity right now. We have to be positive. We have to like unite and full force so we can to be productive and do the best that we can do to save whatever we have. So
very true.
We are not going to forget what we lost. For sure, we're not going to forget it. But we have to concentrate on what we were able to save, what is ours now, and then move forward and hope that whatever we lost, maybe hopefully soon we will be able to get it back. But in the meantime, we cannot stop. Our organization hasn't stopped. I mean, from day one, the war started, and even the day that the war sort of stopped, we've even been working harder. We haven't let anything stop us from, helping our brothers and sisters from Artsakh, truly. They deserve it. They didn't let us down during the war. We cannot let them down now. We have to support them.
We have to be there. We have to stand by them. We have to get everybody who who shouted on the streets, brought attention to us. They also have to keep doing the same thing and make our Armenia stronger. We cannot, right now, we cannot give up. That's not in our blood, and we cannot accept it either. So,
I had a question. I made a note while you were talking, Eleonora, about adding the dairy in the nutrition project.
yes.
I was going to ask you, was that in the form of providing cows, or is it actually taking milk? Because I know that there are Lilia Chakarian of Beyond Border. She does that. So whenever instead of giving somebody fish, teaching them how to fish. Sort of thing.
No, we didn't give cows, but we were one of the main customers of buying the dairy. So in some areas, it was very interesting because like the kids, they would love the milk, but during winter time, they didn't want milk. It was cold. So we provided big pots and special pots for them to warm it up. We had kids that they will bring cocoa powder from home. They mix it to the milk and they would drink it. But at the same time, cheese or cottage cheese or butter, yogurt, it was their favorite. So we will buy that. We did not get cows. We also know other organization, Mr. Melikian's organization, he sponsors cows.
Yes.
And he gives cows, and we do have
We have sponsored a lot of those
We have
cows.
cows with our names and pictures of the cows, but we try to work with the local suppliers.
Yeah.
Very good.
In the beginning, we were thinking how wonderful we can go to the villagers, get the milk or this and that. And then very soon we found out we cannot do it, because when you're serving dairy to, let's say, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 kids in one kindergarten, if there's anything wrong with the dairy, you're impacting 70, 80, 90, 100 kids. So very soon we decided to buy pasteurized, to go with companies that their job is to produce dairy.
Very good.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
So I want to mention there's an artist, his name is Armenian Alvardian. So he reached out to me a few days ago. We were talking back and forth. He's an Armenian artist from Spain. He donated by Armenian
Painting.
a painting. He said, my wish is if you do fundraising or an auction, and then to donate it. He wants to donate it to a charity that helps children. So now that we're talking about this, so I want to auction a painting and just ask the person who pays the most to donate it to focus on children. So it helps with.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Once we decide which painting he's gonna donate,
we already
decided.
I already had posted and auction it, and then asking everyone to maximize and
become generous.
Exactly,
Yes.
become generous, because after hearing your project, it's amazing.
Thank you.
Let us know when you're auctioning. Maybe we will bid on it too.
So
We are the ones with bidding on art.
once the proceeds are available, then that is going to be donated to.
That is wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you again for both of you for providing us with all the wonderful information and all the great things that you are doing for the children of Armenia.
Thank you.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
to be part of the bigger family
Yes.
and collaborating with like-minded people in different groups. We appreciate that. I'm sure our members will appreciate it. There were a few comments in the coming through. I took a photo of one because there's a gentleman who offered his services. I'll relay that to you later.
You can, it's going to be on Facebook,
Oh,
so you
that's
can
right.
go and then read the comments and reply.
Right. So pay
Yeah.
attention. There's a person who is willing to help with something. I don't remember exactly what it was now, but it
Sounds
was
good.
a pleasure
Thank
to have both of you for our
God bless
Wednesday
you
evening.
for all the work that you're doing.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We're
Thank
all
you very
working
much.
together. We're
And-
all working together. That's the most important thing. So
Yeah.
we have to be united and work together. We can help more people that way.
Truly.
Thank you.
Yes.
In the next few days, we'll announce who is going to be our guest for next Wednesday.
We do
evening.
have it.
Oh.
Forgot. HDIF. We do have the HDIF from Armenia.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh,
That's
nice.
awesome. Tim is awesome. Tim is
Our
awesome.
guest next
I'm
week.
sure you're gonna, he's,
I planned it and maybe I forgot to tell Lishan. It's like too many things going
yeah,
on. So
yeah, one of my favorite people in it. So
Yeah.
that's
So
perfect.
look forward to that. Thank you again.
Yes.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
And thank
Have a
you
nice
very
day.
much
Thank
for
you
the
very much.
opportunity.
Thank you.
Bye. Good night.